So let's talk arts and entertainment on WMAY, another edition of State of the Arts, where we're looking at all sorts of things going on locally and around the country, sometimes even around the world. Got with me Gus Gordon once again to talk about it. How you doing, Gus?
Kevin, I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing fine, doing pretty good. Probably a little better than last week, even though it's a little dreary outside, but it's fine.
It has been. Yesterday we had a lot of rain, just kind of not hard rain necessarily, but just consistent rain. And so that was kind of frustrating. And today it's just kind of gloomy, but hey, it's Halloween weekend, and
it is.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, it was Halloween. It rained. I'm already going off on a bit of a tangent here, but this is just one of my favorite Halloween stories to tell. I've told it on the air a couple times, and I'm going to tell it again because I always think it's funny. When I was 10 or maybe 11, I went as Darth Vader, and I had like a really cool costume, and I had the helmet, and I had a lightsaber, and it was raining, and I wanted to go out so badly, so my dad took me out, and we went to one of the houses, and this guy's like, "Hey, I don't have any candy. I didn't think anyone was going to come out here. Can you hold on a second?" And he runs back into his house, and he gives me a pack of ramen noodles, and he's like, "I hope this is good enough."
Oh, that's a riot.
Yeah.
That's great. I remember one of my first Halloween, so maybe I was 5 or 6 years old. And of course, I was dressed as Batman.
Right.
And one of those cheap, flimsy little Batman costumes with the mask. That was terrible. And it was raining, and I was too short. So I was carrying my bag, and I would drag it along the ground. Well, the ground wet gravel, and I realized when I got home I had no candy.
No.
It had all fallen on the ground, so my brother and I had to go back and try to get it and put it into an upside down umbrella to try to get it home as it's raining on us.
Yeah.
It was one of those days.
Yeah, that happens.
I hear that I'm getting a phone call, but folks, if you're calling me right now, you're just going to have to wait because I'm talking to my friend Kevin.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Gus. It's all good. So we got a lot going on this weekend. I mean, really, there's quite a bit going on, and that we can all take a look at. I talked yesterday with Hannah Levin, a good friend of ours. She is directing Clue, the play version, at Williamsville High School, and she says it is her directorial debut, so break legs to everybody in the cast there. Always a fun. It's based off the movie, and that's a fun movie.
It is
classic.
It is a fun movie.
Be a lot of fun.
One of the most popular in high schools across the country.
Yeah,
doing it.
Yeah, and it's of course based on the game we all played. That fun board game Clue, and then of course then the movie's based off that and all that, but it's going to be, so that is this weekend at Williamsville High School. And also I've been seeing there is a you guys are doing something at the Hoagland teens have a couple things going on.
The Hoagland Education Department is putting on a very Hoagland Halloween. It's about a 30-minute showcase for the kids, and there are several performances. There's one at noon tomorrow, 1:30, 5:30, and 7 p.m., and then on Sunday at noon and at 1:30. It's a short little Halloween show, perfect for little kids. And there's going to be, all kinds of costumes and things. And then they're also going to go out to Zooly Gooly tomorrow to participate as well. So, yeah, they're going to have a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds like it. It'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you get out and see the Hoagland Education program perform, because they are a bunch of talented young performers, and it'll be a great show. I'm sure of it.
I think also, so. And again, perfect for young kids who are just getting their first taste of theater. It's 30 minutes or so, and it will be very fun for them to sit through and enjoy.
Yes, I think so. Absolutely. Another thing going on this weekend, you can watch this virtually. I believe last weekend they might have had a couple of snags with their streaming video, but Coalescence Theater Project is doing a showcase called Black Lives, Black Voices, and all sorts of different things, monologues, some short plays. I believe there's some dancing and some music in there as well. So that'd be something interesting to watch as well. So that'll be something to look out for. Also, I'll be talking in a bit with Missy Thibodeau Thompson about Stop Kiss, which is at the UIS Performing Arts Center, or at least in the studio theater tonight and tomorrow. and I've heard good things about it so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read the review in the Illinois Times?
Yes, I did.
Dennis Thread gave it a
Yep.
great review, and Dennis is our roving theater critic in town these days, and he really appreciated it and suggested everyone go out and see it.
Yes, and definitely agree. I mean, even though I haven't seen it, I said agree with him there because I trust his judgment. He does a great job writing those. So yeah. So
It's
play.
something I've not seen here before.
That's true.
It's a new show to Springfield.
Yes, so always fun to see some new things coming around as well. So make sure you get to see that. There are a couple things coming up down the pipeline. Of course, American Idiot is STC's next show. They just had a successful run of Arsenic and Old Lace, and that show, American Idiot, is coming up in just a couple of weeks. I believe it's 3 weeks.
November 12th.
Yeah.
So you're right. They're starting their tech rehearsal on Monday night. And so that means microphones and the band and the whole 9 yards. So, it's based on a Green Day, the band American, and then the album American Idiot. So it's going to really appeal to a great young crowd. And I think they're going to really, again, enjoy this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's got a great cast, great staff, and yeah, it's the music. A lot of people love. Very iconic album and great band. So that will be fun. See those performances, and that is another show that is making its debut in Springfield. The first time it's been done. So that'll be great as well. Then we also have Elf the Musical, which will be here before you know it. It'll be in December, the Christmas show. Yeah. I know. It's like November in a couple days. How's that?
Seriously. Monday, November 1st, and then it's going to be Christmas and New Year's just like that. So, get your tickets now to Elf. Tickets for that one are especially going fast, and I think that'll most likely be a sellout.
I think so too. And tickets are selling pretty well for American Idiot too. So
yes, they are.
So make sure you guys get your tickets for that. Another, we talked about it before, but we can also mention that Dual Piano is doing a Christmas show coming up at the Hoagland, I guess in 2-ish months, right? Month and a half, maybe.
Well, December 17th, 18th, and 19th, they're doing their big two dual grand pianos, Steinway grand pianos, Mark Gifford and Damian Kaplan. This will be... Man, I have lost count of how many years they've been doing it for us, but 6 or 7 now. Yeah. And it's always a big hit at Christmas time. Solomon Colors is our sponsor for this, and Damien and Mark put on a fantastic show, and I always look forward to that one because even if they do the same number of songs each night, each show is inherently different because a lot of it's ad-libbed, a lot of it's improvised. The basic structure stays the same, but a lot of the patter and the comedy that goes on is different each night. They're 2 really inspired performers, and we have them back again and again, and that's because the audience loves it. And that one also, tickets are selling well for that, so people probably want to get that booked as early as they can.
Yeah, that one will sell well as well. And like you said, even I saw it twice helping out streaming and then recording a little bit of it the next day. And even then I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like they, Mark was telling like different, I mean like similar, but like different stories and jokes. And it was great. It's fun. So it's always guaranteed to be a fun and all sorts of talented piano and not just piano playing. You might see some other things as well. You might hear some things. I hear some tap dancing,
vibraphone, ballet. Sometimes they've had it all. It's been great.
Yeah, so that will be great coming up middle of December, like you said, 17, 18, 19. We've seen some news in the world of Broadway and also television, but live musicals. First, we're gonna go to The Music Man on Broadway, which is announced its entire cast. Of course, they talked about Sutton Foster and Hugh Jackman as the 2 leads of that show, and then they've now put out the full cast list. It's on Theater Mania, but I believe it's probably on Playbill.com, other websites as well. It's all over the place. But that's
great group of people. Most of them still continued from the last from last year when they were going to premiere the show, and then it got postponed because of COVID. But Shuler Hensley, who is, I mean, I don't see him as a Marcellus necessarily because he's a big guy. He played Judd in the revival of Oklahoma, and he played Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein. So he's a big guy.
Right.
But he's playing Marcellus. And Jefferson Mays is playing Mayor Shin. And Jefferson Mays was in the Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which was such a great show. And he played 8 different characters. And last Christmas, I saw Jefferson Mays do a one-man version of Christmas.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
It was great. He was awesome. It was really, really enjoyable. And he's a very talented guy. And then Jane Hoodisell, I think is how you pronounce it. She's playing the mayor's wife. And she was just in that Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah.
Selena Gomez. She played the cantankerous building manager, or the what do you call it?
I'm a concierge. Her,
Right.
like from the producers.
So she was kind of like the residents, association president or something. But she was heavy into that show, and she's very funny, and she plays those kinds of roles. There are lots of unflattering names for those kinds of roles, but usually kind of condescending, and she really is very, very funny, especially doing that kind of part.
Oh, good. Yeah, so she's going to definitely do a good job in that. Don't recognize all the names in the ensemble, but I'm sure they're probably all very talented. That quartet music is hard, so it's always fun to hear it. So I'm sure it'll be doing a great job there. I just love that show. It's one of my favorites, and be great to hear it.
There's a lot of excitement about this because of Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster. And just as much excitement, there are those people who are kind of catty who are saying, they're too old. Or
who cares?
She's an alto. She's not a soprano. It's like, who cares?
There's this thing called keys of songs, and you can lower them. Who cares? Like, I always thought it was like a weird, unless you like name the notes in the song, like in the lyrics. I always thought it was weird that people get like so angry about changing the key of a song. It's like, whatever.
They need to be changing the key because she is a versatile performer. So
I was gonna say she did Reno Sweeney.
One show and a high soprano in another. She might have that skill, and I bet she does, because remember in Young Frankenstein she played Inga, and she was yodeling and had all those high notes. So yeah, I think she'll be great.
Yeah, so I think that'll be just fine.
I will tell you this. I am convinced that Marion Prue is actually Winthrop's mother, not her sister, not his sister, rather.
Okay.
And now with Sutton Foster, who's in her 40s, having an 8-year-old brother, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We got to admit it finally.
Oh yeah, they're like, we finally. I'm sorry, it's here. Yeah, but that's fun.
You haven't watched Schmigadoon yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I still have to.
Shut up, then. But there's a plot point that's similar to that.
That's funny.
It acknowledges that long-held belief in Schmigadoon on Apple Plus.
Yeah, and I'll have to definitely watch it then. And Hugh Jackman is going to be great because he would break out the train song Rock Island like on TV and stuff. He'd be like, well, because The Music Man was the first show he ever did in high school, and he's like I still remember this song, and he'd tell the band to like hit a train beat, and he'd like rap the whole thing. I think he does it on Jay Leno. It's like it's great. So.
Well, you know who has to be his replacement, don't you?
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane has to do it, or Conan O'Brien, because Conan O'Brien loves that. He wrote the monorail song for The Simpsons, and it's his favorite musical. Okay. And he was in talks to replace Craig Bierko at one point, but it didn't work out with his schedule.
I do not. I like Conan O'Brien, but I do not see that.
Oh, he'd be fun.
I did not see that. Well, in the Craig Bierko production, he was replaced by Eric McCormick from Will and Grace, who apparently did a really good job. And then who was the guy? God, what is his name? He was in Dead Poets Society. He was one of the students in Dead Poets Society.
Oh goodness.
He played a lot of those, young kind of tragic young men in a lot of movies of that.
Robert something. No, I know who that is. I can see them in my head, but I haven't.
Three names: first name, middle name, last name, and I cannot remember who it was. But he was maybe a little less successful. But hey, that's give it a chance. I should give it a chance. I'll shut up now. I give it a chance.
No,
let's see what they can do. And if Conan O'Brien wants to be Harold Hill, why not?
Why not? But I do agree with you. Seth MacFarlane is like, I mean him doing Trouble. I'm sure we've all seen that. That is, he just does an amazing job. And I think he sang Sadder But Wiser Girl on one of his albums as well.
Yes, he did. So. Yeah. My wife loves his albums of standards, and he has that great kind of Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin kind of voice. Really smooth, a really great singer and a great musician. And she breaks out his Christmas album every year, along with Andy Williams and Johnny Mathis and all the rest, and really very good.
Good, yeah. Well, I hope I'm very certain, at least I hope so, that that's probably gonna that they'll try to, or he'll try to do it at least, because I'm sure he'd want to. So. But yeah, we'll see. But then also we've been seeing some more and more pictures of the cast of Annie live. And they're bringing back some of the live musicals that were, of course, on the hiatus for a while, like everything else was. But so they've showed pictures of the girl playing Annie, whose name escapes me, but I have it up here. I'm gonna scroll down until I see Annie. Here it is. Her name is Selena Smith. Is playing really Annie. Cute. Yeah, little ribbon in her hair and everything, and Taraji P. Henson looks great as Miss Hannigan there. And then there's
Harry Connick Jr. Tell us
what about Harry Connick Jr. I'm very not. I should give it a chance, like we're saying, but he's I think he'd be better as Rooster, and I think a lot of people have said that, because he's going to be like, my heart was the oyster. He'll be just like doing that the whole time, like brother. I know he'll be fine.
Give him a chance.
I will give him a chance.
The Comic Game on Broadway and did a really good job with that.
Oh yeah, I listened to that recently. Yeah,
I wonder if he's going to shave his head.
He should.
Or wear a bald cap.
No, you got to shave it if you wear that part. You can't. No.
Well, especially in a major production like this.
Yeah, you shaved your head. Jim shaved his head when he played Warbucks. Every Warbucks I've seen had to shave their head. So I don't know if he thinks he can get away with wearing a bald cap.
Well, I'll show him.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to go back. I had to look, and I'm sorry if I look distracted.
You're good.
Robert Sean Leonard.
Okay.
He was the replacement for Eric McCormick, who replaced Craig Bierko as Harold Hill in the 2000 production of The Music Man.
All right. Very good.
There's your trivia for the day. Who cares, right?
I care.
All right, well,
I was thinking it too.
Care, but no one else listens to that. So this podcast is just for you and I, Kevin.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, but no. So we'll see how Annie. I mean, Annie's been done so many times. I mean, there's 3 movie versions of it. So we'll see if this one sticks closer to the stage show than the 90s movie, which even had some deviations. I think they had to cut it way down, as opposed to something like Bye Bye Birdie, which they like stretched out with new songs. But
exactly, I hope so too. It's a great show. People have to go back to the beginning, and I was there in the 70s, not there, but I was alive in the 70s, and it was a huge hit. It was an adult show, and now people think of it as a kid's show, and it's not. It's an adult show that has kids in it, that it can appeal to both adults and kids, but it's a well-written, great music, great show, and I hope they give it a chance to just, to do what it can do, and yeah, because when that first opened, it was a sensation.
Oh yeah,
it really was.
Yeah. So Yeah, and so like we were talking about, briefly before we started recording, it's one of those shows where, I mean, we've and like I say, me and people like to joke about, oh, Annie, whatever, but I've done it twice. My sister's done it 3 times. My late dog did it twice as Sandy, and I've seen it like probably every production of it in Springfield since like '04 maybe. I think we watched it one time. You might have been in it actually, but it was I've seen it so many times, but it is one of those shows
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
it was
like
Theater Center.
Theater Center.
Yeah,
Yep.
it over
Okay.
on Lawrence when it located over there. Yeah, yeah. No, that was a great cast.
Yeah.
I got to play Rooster in that one with Carolyn Fleishley as Lily and Lori Ann McCabe as Miss Hannigan, and she was great.
Yeah. That
Rich
was a fun.
McCoy was Warbucks. The late Jason Goodrow was Bert Healy. It was a
Oh
really,
yes.
really good production.
Yep. Yes, and that was, I believe, the first Annie I saw on stage, and I've seen it so many times. But that was like, we were talking also about Guys and Dolls earlier. Annie's kind of like that, where that's one of those shows where, as much as it's like, oh, I've seen this, I know the script, whatever. It's like that is a show that, like, there's so many movies, like the original movie made changes, the most recent one made a lot of changes. It's like that book and the music can just kind of sit on its own and be fine, and people will love it because that is the version that won all those Tony Awards and was the big sensation it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that has been regarded for years as one of the best written musicals ever. And from grade schools to Nathan Lane and Faith Prince on Broadway, it can play anywhere and play
Yeah.
well. And it's just a solid piece of writing, great music. Frank Lesser's best score, I think, by far.
Yeah.
It is good, very good, but
Oh
Guys
yes.
and Dolls is much better. And it just always works if you don't mess around with it too much.
Yeah. Which,
Try to make it better. Why try to make it better when it's great?
it's fine as is. Yes, I think that, and so I think if Annie does that, they stick to it. Leave Herbert Hoover, that song in, a couple others, and end it with a New Deal for Christmas, which is not in any of the versions, I don't think, even though it's almost always in the stage show. But anyways,
right.
We'll see how that turns out. And then they also have Titus Burgess is going to be Rooster, and I think Jane Krakowski, which will be fun. Oh, she's great. So that'll be. So it is a really
90s version had that I liked. That was one of the best moments of the 90s version. Was Andrea McArdle as the star?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that's right. She
was awesome.
Yeah, so I wonder who will do that on in the movie. We'll see, I guess, because who Aileen Quinn actually cameoed in the 2014 movie. She's in the background of like Easy Street or something.
Really?
Like she's in a band. She actually has a band called the Leapin' Lizards. I don't know if you know this, but that band plays in the background, and you can kind of see. I think she's blurred, but you can see her. I think so. Yeah.
The less said about that version, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
I know it wasn't that good, but I mean,
I didn't appreciate the modernization at all.
No,
I liked the cast fine.
No,
it wasn't Annie. It was something else.
Oh yeah, no. Like we said, they're like we can make this modern and make it better, and it's like no. But well, mileage may vary, but I know I was not a big fan of it, but whatever. Who
was Miss Hannigan in that?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, right? In the songs that she sang from the show, I couldn't recognize where the melody was. They had rewritten them, or Little Girls. It just yeah. And I love Cameron Diaz. I think she's great. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah. So maybe this new live production will be closer to the show, and then more live productions coming forth from whatever network wants to do them. So that'll be fun. But in the meantime, we have plenty of things coming up that you can watch just this weekend. We have Clue. You can watch that over at the over at Williamsville High School. Stop Kiss is at the Studio Theater UIS. You can watch online Black Lives, Black Voices. And then the Hoagland Kids are going to be putting on a special production, and also
Halloween.
Very Hoagland Halloween. And so make sure you guys get your tickets and all the information for all those things. Gus, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll do this again next time.
Happy Halloween, Kevin.
Happy Halloween. It's Halloween.